Good evening, good morrow, and good day, and welcome to another edition of Slice and Dice here with the Manylands campaign. Guys, I'll just let you in because we just got the tail end of Bart waving there because I just had a bit just on my own there.
More waving. More waving.
More waving. like distressed birds, which actually very topical for tonight's session, but more on that in a moment. Saw that link there, straight in with the link. But before we get to that, of course, first of all, to you guys, anyone have any points of order, any announcements, any shameless plugs before we start today?
No.
Nobody. Okay, only me then.
Shameless plug.
So my shameless plug today is I had a delivery in the post a couple of days ago, over the weekend, which I want to share with you all because, as I said before, a few weeks ago, we got some new stock in our merch store, and my mask arrived the other day. So now I can go around shops with Slice and Dice on my face, and you can too. You can find if you're interested in getting a Slice and Distance mask, you can find it in our merch store. There's a link to it on our Twitch page. Go and check it out. And of course, by buying some of the merch store, you're supporting the channel as well. So it's all good things, and we very much appreciate that. So yeah, go check it out for yourself. See what else you like in there besides the mask. We've got a ton of t-shirts as well, and hoodies and all the rest of those kind of general clothing. Speaking of clothing, linking back to today's session, of course, relevant because we're dealing with one of the proprietors of Bits and Pieces, the more sort of finery and general goods establishments. There you go, Distressed Birds and the shop. Those are the two sort of things that are meshing together in tonight's session. Anyway, that's enough linking things together. Without any further ado, guys, let's jump in with tonight's session.
You missed the most important thing about the update, which is Fleeting Look walking around with a giant bag of giant bits of bread, just scattering.
Sorry. Yes, I'll put that in the recap. I will put that in the recap just after this. And we are back. So, guys, last time here on Slice and Dice, we found out exactly what Seth and Fleeting finally had been up to in their downtime over the last few days leading up to Aunt Argentia's funeral. There were some interesting revelations there, not only how Fleeting Look came across his new steed, his giant capybara, but more importantly, what the deal that Seth has done with the voice that has been speaking to him for such a long time now. After being offered to be champion of this old voice, Seth agreed to have the old voice as his patron going forward. So some interesting magical shenanigans there, and the medallion that's been plaguing him has now been enchanted with extra powers, allowing him to cast a couple of spells that he couldn't before, which is interesting indeed, some of which has been revealed to one of the party, but as far as the rest of them go, they don't at this stage know about these extra powers. Also, the two of them, after going to this shrine, they then continued back to the Basilisk Cave, you guys may remember from a long time ago, to finally go and excavate some of those gemstones that were sticking out the walls there. Seth, using his loaf, we'll get more on loaves in a minute, spend a day mining there and managed to retrieve just about a very large diamond, amongst other things, which he imagines that Malar will be able to use at some point. So he's taken that and a load of gemstones, a big old haul on their 2 steeds, and headed back to town. And that's when they ended up meeting up with the rest of the group after the funeral, as they were tracking down these people that seem to be going missing, these small persons linked to the Moonrunners that have been going missing, apparently being abducted by giant birds. Also, in addition to that, I should say, during those 3 days, Malar, having learned that the great houses of the Crowflies are rumoured to possess dragon bone daggers, just like the one that the Red Mages are after here in Burikrin, that we know that Flaming Jack himself, Jackman Winklebottom, possesses. Because he learned that these houses possess those daggers as well, he used a sending spell to your old friend Howland Cragmere, a faithful servant of one of the great houses of the Crowflies, to inform him of the situation. Howland has agreed to tell his lord about this, and hopefully that will give them some warning so they can brace themselves in case they're attacked. Anyway, back in the present, you guys decided to set a trap for these giant birds that seem to be abducting people, but for this trap to be effective, you're going to need some bait. So you went to bits and pieces to not only console Belle Quigley, whose brother was abducted only the previous night, but to offer her to become the bait for tonight, in case they turn up later today. And as well as that, just to make sure that these birds would be tempted into your trap, Fleeting Look has bought some bread and has been dispensing it around the park in the hopes that it will attract the birds. As you were heading over to the park with Belle in hand, who's been very cooperative and very keen to do anything to help get her brother back, this was when Seth gave over the diamond to Malar, noting that this could be of use to him for some of his magical stuff. But Malar, also being the savvy man that he is, surprisingly savvy actually, the Loxodon, then went around the market trying to sell that in exchange for smaller diamonds. However, not really many diamond sellers around Hilberg. It's mining operations tend not really be around here, particularly during the Cold War that's been happening between Burikrin and Rachir across the mountainous border. All the mining operations, it seems to be all about resource, that kind of war. So a lot of the mining operation is over towards the mountains. But you were also told that there is the Miners Guild in Rundar, which may be a place you could go to and trade diamonds if you so wish. But obviously that's something to think about in the future. For now, you guys are getting in position for your trap. Seth has given a potion of flying that he discovered that he had stolen from one of the missing people before they went missing, obviously, Hugo, the dodgy halfling trader. He's given that potion of flying to Brucon on the condition that he only uses it in an emergency, because Brucon is very fast, and so therefore he could fly very fast and try and catch these birds if something goes wrong. That was specifically what Brucon was told. So Seth, being surprisingly altruistic, perhaps, or maybe just serving his own ends through the rest of the party. Up to you guys to decide how he's doing it. Seth Claus
comes with gifts for all the good little girls and boys and Aracockers and tieflings and all the other wonderful races of D&D.
Lions and tigers and bears. Oh my! So you guys were about to set up your positions for this trap. It's middle of the afternoon at this point, so you've still got hours of daylight left. Seth has climbed to the top of the watchtower. The crumbling tower, which you discovered only the previous night, isn't really manned. So Seth has gone to the top there to get a better view of things, seen Fleeting Look down below throwing bread around the ground. What would you like to do from here, guys?
Can I just ask, does Belle have a weapon?
You haven't seen one on her.
I missed all of that. Sorry. What did you say?
You haven't seen one on her. She may be armed.
Can I just give her a dagger before I go up and my small vial of acid from my belt, just in case she needs to hit to set the bird?
Oh, Seth, you are too kind. I already have one. About my person. I also have this in my bag. 1 second. And after a couple of moments, she reaches into her backpack and yanks out a hand crossbow. She also has.
Oh. I'm starting to worry about a doppelganger copying Seth now. It's got this, this is more
uncharacteristic behaviour.
Across these 2 sessions, Seth has been more generous than I can think of him being. If you take more or less the entirety of his previous personality, Brucon kind of
I
looked
am
suspiciously.
a kind and generous and
What?
I can't think of another line.
You're very you're very generous with the painful end of sharp, pointy things. I'm absolutely on board with that. It's gifts.
Well,
I'm happy to distribute goods to the party as long as you promise not to use them, and I can take them back if I need them.
Oh, I see. Okay, it's like that. Cool.
I mean,
okay.
it's a what can you say? It's a new god, new Seth. He's had a fresh outlook after being told, unknown to the rest of you, obviously, being told that he is now this entity's champion. It's probably put him in high spirits, I imagine. Okay, so guys, what are you doing in terms of hiding yourselves? What's the plan here?
Yeah, that is a good question. Actually, what is the plan?
I'm just going to drop off.
I mean, this is a stakeout with some bait, and if if something comes along, then presumably we attempt to subdue it.
I'm up the tower.
Yep.
I know my spot.
So I guess the question for Jack is, what's the what's the surrounding environment like in terms of things to hide behind, under, around, in, etc. I'm assuming this is not an infinite radial plane with a tower in the middle of it. So, like, what like bushes, copses of trees, anything like that within, close by.
Yeah, so in the park there are quite a few trees. It's a good clump of them in the centre of the park. So where Seth is overlooking the tower, can see you can see those trees. They're maybe 50 or so feet from the base of the tower. The first sort of outcropping of trees. So there's plenty of foliage around that you guys could try and hide yourselves in if that's what you wish to do.
Okay, Brucon's gonna go, and given his speed, he can 50 feet or so away is nothing as far as he's concerned. So he will moonwalk over to the copse of trees and then attempt to conceal himself within them.
Okay, sure. Okay, apparently I'm having a bit of an issue on stream with my camera. It's completely frozen.
It has a most amusing expression, which I have just hit print screen.
Brilliant. So if you guys want to make stealth rolls, I'm going to sort of drop off and back on the stream to see if that fixes things.
After I've seen where everyone's hiding, can I cast minor illusion on myself to make it look like there's just a bit more wall in front of me, so that they can't see me, but I can see through?
Yep. You'd have to crouch down because I think it's a 5-foot cube is the limit of minor illusion. You're probably taller than that, so if you crouch down, you can do that.
I assume there's a wall around the top.
Yeah,
so
yes,
I just
there
want
is.
it to be like a little bit higher in front of me, so that it doesn't look like my head is just sticking out.
Yeah, it's mostly fallen into disrepair up there, so you can easily make yourself look like rubble. Okay, so if you guys make those stealth rolls now, Seth, you can have. Well, Seth, you can have advantage with minor illusion anyway.
I rolled the same number.
As I said, I'll drop off the old stream 1 second to see if that fixes camera stuff. So bear with me.
we've done minor illusion to hide. Oh goodness.
Because I think it's going to take too long to fix it, so we might as well continue and
Yeah.
and just leave it at that. Okay.
We'll just imagine you.
Just imagine me, guys. Just imagine I'm here.
We're
Okay.
playing the right game for that.
Yeah. Yes, you are. So yeah. Okay, it's just Bart. You know what? It's gone. Sorry, Bart. It's just two of you all the time is confusing.
I was already planning some like cheerleading moves, like SEF. Yeah.
So
right,
guys,
anyway.
what were your stealth rolls? Sorry.
25 for Brucon.
Oh lordy.
Ooh, holy shit. You pick a great bit of foliage to hide behind, and also give him,
I managed to find a tree that is exactly the same shape as Brucon, and
exactly. And you do, in fact. There is one that is exactly fits your frame exactly. What do the rest of you get? Where did you
12 for Leobrin.
12, but you are minor illusioning, so you're sitting down and you've turned yourself into a bush, which is
The
phenomenal.
extra dice, the extra roll was worse, so 12.
So you've stuck basically, Leobrin. You've seen a bush, and it's about a similar size to you, and then you've sat down next to that bush, and then minor illusioned a very similar looking bush to cover you in.
Yeah, it's I've
very
built my
inconspicuous.
mold in a shooter video game where they just copied and paste the terrain, blop blop blop.
Exactly like that. Yes, but fortunately, you have made this 3-dimensional rather than the terrain that you go and interact with in an old video game and realise that it's just a wall. And
in another life, Leoberin was a level designer for Bungie Studios, circa 2003.
Sorry, go ahead. What were the rest of you?
30.
30 for Seth. Could you roll for fleeting?
Of course,
please?
steal my thunder, why don't you, sneaky son of a bitch?
It's
It's got like a plus.
Does he have disadvantage because of his armor?
Yes.
Yeah, if it's heavy armor.
He would do, yeah.
In his
but
chain.
it's D&D. There's no gradations of success. It's either win or lose. So your result is exactly the same as Seth's.
Yeah, sure. Yep, I'll tell myself that, and that'll totally help.
Fleeting has 7.
7. Okay.
That's good because Malar also rolled a 7.
Neris got a 12. She's put herself in amongst the bushes as well.
Caster's high five.
It's almost like the rest of you aren't good at dexterity.
Yeah.
Fleeting-
But strangely enough, the people with like really quite statistically significant bonuses to dexterity, quite good at this. The people who are not in that position, weirdly, less.
It's funny that, isn't it? So Fleeting Look has hidden himself by standing in the open doorway to the tower because he wants to be near his best friend. He's also thrown thrown the rest of his loaf in that location.
I've just got a lovely visual of Fleeting standing full height behind Seth. So there's just this block that Seth has made, and Fleeting is poking out the top.
Just standing behind the block. Yeah, that would be fantastic.
In
I should
about
have thought of
session
that.
2, Fleeting did say that he was going to stand next to Seth forever, so that I will have constant disadvantage of a Fleeting next to every stealth check.
Malar, meanwhile, but recognizing your frame, you've opted to stand at the bottom. So you're actually in plain sight in the park, but you stood basically up against the barricade, the palisade to the town, because obviously the park backs onto that. So you've just kind of you're just standing in shadow, hoping you won't be noticed there with your lovely 7, I think it was. So you're out there. Presumably out the way. Now, it's about 4 p.m. at this point when you guys sort of set up ready to go. Belle is standing out in the open, minding her own business, occasionally setting off, I think it's a minor illusion, so she's just creating the odd sound occasionally to try and draw attention her way. And you see over the next half hour or so, a couple of passers-by kind of looking in that direction every time she sets off a noise. Sometimes it's a fart noise. Sometimes it's a bird call. Sometimes it's a whistle. It does go through a few different motions. Can you all make perception checks as you're? I'll say we'll ignore Fleeting and Neris for this. they're
Sure.
probably paying attention to other things.
What did okay, so two things just happened. One is I started asking Jack a question about what Neris's stealth decision was.
Oh, she's in the bushes as well.
Cool. And the second thing is I rolled a natural 20 for perception.
Sweet.
Nice.
Okay,
Excellent.
you stole my thunder. I got the 19.
So your totals are
23 for Brucon with the natural 20.
23.
22 with the
22.
19.
Ooh. Any advance on 23, 22? No? Okay.
Don't even have the modifier to do either of those.
Fair enough. Yeah, nobody's perfect. It's fine. So over the course of the next hour, you guys keeping a very close eye on not only, I'd say Brucon, you're keeping an eye on Bell and out on the surrounding area as well, into the skies. And from your advanced position, Seth, looking out from the tower, again, you're keeping a very close eye over proceedings, but no sign of any large birds at this time. You get the odd sort of sparrow and whatnot flying around, wood pigeon and things flying around the park, but that's about it over that hour. You can continue to wait, or is there anything else you wanted to do?
Continuing to wait until it's time to go to the meeting.
Okay, because the meeting, I think you were told, was 11 p.m. So you've got a fair few hours in the park. Alrighty then. So let me just figure out what's going on here.
Zeph. Psst.
I'm not near you.
I was going to say, I really sincerely doubt that...
At the top of the tower. Yeah.
We've been casting minor illusion once a minute for an hour.
Good job, it's a
I feel your
cantrip.
pain.
Do take a rest or you may go blind.
Oh dear. Okay. So another hour passes. No change. Belle's looking a little bit uncomfortable at this point. Looking a bit, stretching her legs a bit, looking a bit restless. Okay.
So, brother, suck it up.
So another hour goes by, and at this point, now the sun is starting to set. It is getting dark. It will be dark probably within the next hour. With your perception checks that you made, you can get a good look at this quite early on, especially you, Seth. You see, kind of, I guess, silhouetted by the sunset, you can see a couple of birds flying in your direction. At this point, they're quite far away. They're outside the town walls for sure, but you watch them, and as you watch them, they keep on getting closer and closer and closer until you're fairly certain they're just outside of the walls.
Do they look pretty big?
They look like medium-sized creatures. They don't look like giant.
Do they look bigger than a robin?
Make a nature check for me, please.
But that wasn't me being like specific to a robin. Like, in general, a bird that looks bigger than a normal bird.
Is it a bird? Is it a plane?
Because if you just say yes, and it's like, oh, it's an eagle, it's just a normal eagle, but it's bigger than a robin.
Eagle, yeah, by the way, eagles are very definitely bigger than robins.
Yeah.
15.
15. All right, yeah, from here, they look bigger than eagles. But a bit more substance to them than a regular bird, especially in the middle.
I'm gonna point down to Belle, and I'm gonna cast message, and I'm gonna say, "It's Seth. I think we've got something incoming." And I know roughly where the party is. Don't I?
Yeah, you know they're in and around. You know where Fleeting and Malar are because they hid terribly.
I'll point to Malar first then, and then I'm going to be casting message to everyone, one at a time, saying...
What's the range on message?
I'm going to be casting message to who I can.
120 feet.
Oh, easy.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
I'm going to be casting message to everybody, one at a time, starting with Malar. just saying, "It's Seth. I think we've got incoming." You can respond to this message.
Oh,
It's been like 3 hours.
Time.
I'm so sore.
Really starting to chafe.
Repetitive strain injury from casting minor illusion.
Yeah. What are the components for minor illusion? Is it
somatic and material.
So
Oh, yeah,
literally, you're
definitely.
either rubbing your wand or you're rubbing a bit of fleece, and I don't know which is better or worse.
Yeah, well, definite cramping
Friction
issues.
burns at this point.
Definite
Yeah.
cramping
Dude,
issues. Starting to
We've been staring at a woman sitting in the bush stroking your wand. This is not a good sign.
Hey, it's
Slice and dice for kids.
not my heist.
It's not my heist.
Brucon's reply to the message is, when they get within range, I'll dash in there and try to stun at least one of them.
I'm gonna respond to Brucon and go, "Okay, I think they're coming from that direction." Then realize he can't see me point. I say, "I think they're coming from," and I'm gonna give a general direction of which way they're coming from.
Yeah, so it's generally a westerly direction they're coming from. Okay, so now with everyone warned of where these things are coming from, you guys are ready for when they approach. Now, remind me what your plan was with when. Are you going to wait for them to make a move and then jump in, or are you just going to attack them immediately as they get within range? These beings.
We're pretty murdery, but I don't feel like that speaks to everyone.
I just think we should get them into melee range for Captain Stunhands.
That would certainly be helpful. It's not compulsory, but it would be helpful.
I would hold my action till they're probably like 10 feet from Bell before I fire.
All right, fair enough.
Or if I see someone move, I'm going to be firing. Like if suddenly there's a fleeting coming out of a building, I'm going to fire before he messes up.
Shall I yell at the birds with speak with animals to like confuse them?
Leo just comes out of the bush. Caw, caw, dookie, dookie.
I would be saying real words that they would understand.
No, but say that in their language, really confuse them.
Yeah, it's like figuring out what the French is for "hoing hon le tout le foot."
So Seth, you're keeping an eye on these things as they come in. You've warned everyone else that they're coming. They get closer. They fly over the palisade. They seem to be descending towards Belle, who's also looking up in their general direction now. They're not hidden. They're flying quite clearly in the air, although the sun is setting. She's got dark vision anyway, so you can see them fine. But at this point, when they fly over the palisade, Seth, something's a little bit disturbing about these birds because they have arms, and birds don't generally have arms. Like they've got wings, they've got arms as well.
Oh, thank God! I thought I was just picturing flapping fists.
It's Bart from earlier. Wave. No, they've got wings and arms and legs.
Cool.
Well, talons.
So they're insects. 6
Sorry, sorry.
Oh,
hello to Family
Marshall,
Fantasy RPG
Marshall,
and Shippy
10 points from Gryffindor for that one, and then 10 points to Gryffindor immediately afterwards, leaving Gryffindor on the same number of points it had to begin with. And I've just noticed that it's called Gryffindor as well.
Hey,
so,
Griffin.
yes.
I said that these creatures were very dispiriting.
Yeah, there you go. There it is. That's the mind pain we wanted to see.
I mean, I'm the one exacting the mind pain, so it's good to have it back the other way. It feels like there's some justice and balance in the universe, so this is good. Anyway, equally, their true form, Seth, becomes more noticeable because they kind of stop abruptly in the air. They pull back. They're no longer diving towards Belle. They kind of recoil back, and you can see them. They look vaguely humanoid, but with wings, and obviously a bird, resembling a bird's head. But they're humanoid shaped, but they are bird people, perhaps.
Yeah.
They seem to have spotted Malar and Fleeting in particular, and sense this is a trap, and they start they start flying, not out of the town. They kind of divert course and start heading over the buildings towards the center of the village.
So are they just leaving?
So they're not going for Bell, but they are now swooping over town. You can see them sort of as they go on their way.
How far away are they?
So with the fading light, Seth, you can still see them at this point.
I'm going to message down to Mallow and just say they're going. What do we do?
So DK's question there was how far away are they?
So Malab wouldn't be able to tell from here, but Seth, you could tell. Maybe not in terms of exact distances, but they are now sort of flying. They've just flown over the council chambers, so they're about maybe 100 feet from you, Seth.
I'm going to message down to Mallow and say they're going. They're about 100 feet away.
Oh, what direction, sir?
That way. I message back, and then I send a second message saying the right direction.
So yeah, that'll be easterly towards the center of town.
Malar will give. He will run in the direction Seth has alluded.
Oh,
sure.
He'll dash in
the party. If I see Malar start to run, I'm gonna take a shot.
At the birds, sure.
Yeah.
What are you shooting them with?
My crossbow.
Yes, the crossbow. All right, go ahead. Take the shot. It's a light crossbow you've got, right?
Yes.
Yeah. 100 feet. Is that all right? I think that's the heavy crossbow, isn't it?
80-foot normal range, 320-foot long range.
Sure. So with disadvantage, but you can take a shot. Go for it.
Can I use my inspiration?
Yeah,
to
go on then.
cancel that out?
Yeah. Smoke 'em while you got 'em.
Cool. So that's 23.
23 is a hit. Let's roll some damage.
Because I'm unseen, do I? No, I'd have to have advantage to get a sneak attack, wouldn't I?
Yes. So I think.
Yes, it wouldn't be just sneak attack. It's just normal thing.
Yeah, because you it's a normal attack. No sneak attack. There's no allies within 5
boom.
feet.
13.
13. All right.
And I cast minor illusion on myself as the bolt is flying.
Okay. So you're 100% on the shot. You line it up. You loose the bolt, and you see it, and you're like, "Yes, this is definitely going to pierce the target right in the heart."
I duck.
Okay, so you're not going to see if it hits the target.
I don't miss.
All right. Fair enough.
when Brucon sees the bird people in bird person culture have changed direction, he pulls out the potion of flying. Doesn't consume it yet though.
But he's got it ready. Tell you what, also, Bart, Brucon, can you make a perception check as they fly over as well? See what else you spot about these guys.
Okay, much less good on that one. That was a 10.
10. Okay. In which case, with a 10, you spot. Strangely enough, these feathered bird-like creatures also seem to be wearing some kind of rudimentary robes. So they are clothed, which is odd.
Yes.
That's all you get, though.
I mean, there's a lot of odd happening at the moment.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of odd, but that's an extra bit of
we'll stick that on
cherry
the
of odd.
Part of everything is odd.
Yeah. So Malar, you're running. Anyone else going with him?
You will hear a noise like, "Oh shit! There's a crossbow in my shoulder."
You heard a squawk.
A whole crossbow.
There's a crossbow in my shoulder.
Crossbow that fires 4 crossbows.
I have a crossbow bow.
Crossbow bow. Yeah, it's a crossbow bow.
I'm just imagining a critical fail on firing a crossbow, and the bolt stays in place, but the crossbow repels.
No, that's just
Yeah,
that's
Johnny
my
English
crossbow.
style. Okay, so Leo's going with Malar. Neris is going to go too. You guys are just pegging it in the direction of where these birds are. You can, with your dark vision, you guys can just about see it. Malar, you're kind of more relying. You've got shadows, but you're more relying on the two elves with you to help you carry on in the right direction. Seth, from your advanced position, you've taken a shot. You heard a squawk. Are you looking back up, or are you staying hidden?
Yeah, I want to take a little peek.
Take a little
See
peek.
if it's going back,
Take a little
or
peek.
if it's going away.
Out of your most recent minor illusion. Actually, you don't need to poke up with the minor illusion. You can see straight through it, so you're cool. You're golden.
Yeah.
You look through it, and you can see. So you can see that they're still flying. One of the birds now has a bolt sticking out of its hand. Appears to it tried to stop the bolt, but didn't succeed. And as you're watching them, you then see the other one pull out a net, and they seem to have fixed onto a target. And they swoop now southwards towards. This is heading towards the tavern that Trickle in, and then they drop the net down.
Oh, shit.
You hear a scream.
I'm gonna message to Brucon. Brucon, use the potion. They've got someone, and I'm gonna jump down.
Okay, in response to that, Brucon uncorks the potion, looks at it, does a kind of this is gonna get crazy. Let's no guts, no glory, chick stick scars, no one lives forever. This is a callback to a little a minor fact about Brucon that I offered up a while back. Don't know if anyone remembers, but
Or the
I did.
chipsticks.
No, this is about you remember you asked us for a fact about us and a fact about our characters.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember what Brucon's fact was?
I'll admit, no.
He had
Too long
as a when he was a young dwarflet, he had a deathly fear of having both feet off the floor at the same time,
Oh yes.
and both his feet are about to be very, very off the floor. Nevertheless,
wall.
with his little incantation of bravery uttered, he shotguns the potion, clicks his heels to activate the boots of speed, and levitates into the air, hesitantly at first. Yeah,
Levitates
thank you,
into the
Marshall.
air.
Correct.
I see your references.
I was tempted to sing that.
Yeah, I know. It's very tempting, isn't it?
All right. So yeah, you flying up into the air, and you can see where it's all going down. I think at this point, everyone, you need to roll initiative
Ew.
because it's all kicking off.
Pretty amazed we managed to go as long as we did without it.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Oh!
Am I now further away because I'm on the ground?
Yes,
Shit.
but you know, somebody needs to keep Fleeting company.
Yeah. Best
Oh, we're
friends.
bringing him. I
That's
didn't know
up
if
to you.
you'd
You
seen
don't
it
have
happen.
to. And Belle, of course.
You can stay and protect Belle.
Anything for you, best friend. Because you know that's what he would normally say. That's what he says, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, 2 seconds. I'm just rearranging my furniture.
I'm not having a smart day. I was about to add 17 to my initiative because I was like, yeah, I've got good initiative. That's my armor class.
That is a very good initiative.
Mm-hmm.
That is Munchkin level initiative bonus right there. At level 20.
Ah, that is some good munchkinning.
Pathfinder level initiative.
It's because my roll was so low that it wasn't outside the realm of actual number I normally get to. So I was like, yeah, that's normal. I always have high initiative. And I was like, hang on.
So Seth's there, like, I traded in my ability to breathe without thinking about it. That was an unfortunate misspeech, wasn't it? I traded in my ability to breathe without thinking about it in exchange for a +5 initiative bonus.
Interesting. Oh dear. Okay, I think you guys are mostly in place. It's kicking off, Brew! Right, initiative, guys. Anyone get above 20?
Go on, Seth, what did you get?
Nope.
Whoa, really?
Oh, whoa!
Well, allow me to take more than a smidgen of pleasure in informing you that Brucon rolled a 22.
Woo! 22.
Ultimate
I don't know
power.
why I gave you that potion.
It's a good time to,
I mean, the
time
potion
for
did
him to
nothing
get a
for the
good
initiative
initiative, I tell you.
Yeah, so the potion did nothing for the initiative roll.
$20 to 15. Anyone?
15.
Yeah. 16.
Ooh! Oh, hang on, I'm the Neris. Neris is also a 15. But Seth will definitely go first.
Leobrun is faster than Seth, is that?
Yes. Yeah, just to clarify.
Faster than Seth.
He is a bit more on the ball than Seth. Currently.
Man running around in
I'm
a rough
jumping down a tower. Okay.
He just featherfalled gracefully down the bottom. So Neris just after Seth.
Sorry, hang on a second. So not only do we have an initiative roll in which Seth is not at the top of the order, he's not even second.
No, he's third.
Oh,
That's extraordinary.
How do I
know.
selected mute?
All right. And 15 to 10.
14.
14, Malar. Very good.
We clustered. Pretty
Oh
good.
my god, I was so close.
For Malar,
to
that's a good
halfway
initiative,
through
right? Because your dex isn't great, so that's still in the
Yeah,
top
Seth.
half.
Seth's only one away from Malar.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's switch on the map. Here we go. I could probably move this over and make it a bit bigger today, seeing as my camera's not around. Sorry, don't mind me. Technicals. Doing some technicals right here.
I'm also
Captain?
wondering how long it's going to take before Jack realizes what he's done, creating a scenario in which combat has to be figured out in 3 dimensions.
Yes.
It's going to be
Fun,
fun,
fun.
guys.
Again, to be
Gonna be
fair,
no
again,
issues at all.
To be fair, you have done it before, so this is not like a kind of a a first time ever thing. But even so, yeah, this is good. You're going to have some fun paperwork in this.
There's going to be some real fun paperwork here.
Vamp.
Alright.
No, we're back. Never mind.
Oh, sorry. What were you saying? Oh, you were vamping. Oh, I see.
I was gonna tell interesting. I was gonna fill it with interesting stuff.
Oh, well, hey, hang on to those because
Sure.
I'm sure they will be useful.
Future vamping.
Do you know what? This with 4 of you, this display works really well. I could switch between that and myself, and actually might work better. I'll keep that in mind for future streams. But for now,
by eliminating other members of the party.
Yes.
they're
And the other
It
never
works
coming back.
perfectly with 4. So sorry, the guillotine is ready.
I've been trying out. So in a different game, which I record, may well be released on our YouTube in the future, but I'll tell you more about that when it's all confirmed up. We've got a display that's a bit more like this, but there are 6 players, and the big square alternates between the DM's face and the combat camera, and I think it works quite well. But anyway, for another time. For now, top of the order, Brucon. You can see. So you can see that as you flew up, the net fell down. You could see it fell very quickly. It looks like it must have been a weighted net, weighted in some way, onto a form below. Because of all the buildings obscuring your view, from here you can't see who or what the net was dropped onto. You're quite some distance away, but your flying speed, I believe, will be pretty good. So what are you doing?
Yeah, and at the risk of biting the hand that feeds, the guy levitating in the air is pondering the physics of heavy things falling faster than not heavy things. But anyway, I get the point. And Brucon's flying speed is currently pretty good. How far away from Brucon's current location are the bird nibbles?
So it's across like. It's a good portion of the town, so it's. Let's have a look on here. So, actually, not as far as I thought. It's going to be over 100 feet. It's going to be maybe 140 feet.
Okay, cool. So,
no, that's not the maximum you can move. So.
No, I was going to say. So in response to that, Brucon does stupid nonsense because he's a monk. Move action to move. That will be 80 feet.
The boots activated.
The boots of speed were very much the second thing Brucon did. The first thing Brucon did after drinking the flask was clicking his heels.
Superman level entry.
Exactly. Yeah. With the classic Richard Donner theme very much playing on repeat in Brucon's head right now. in violation of all logic and common sense. Yeah, so
I'm going to rearrange this a bit so we can see a bit better.
So we'll have a move action to zoom up towards them, and then a bonus action and expenditure of 1 key point.
1 key point.
For the most literal step of the wind in Brucon's life up to this point. Hang on, is it step of the wind? Which one is it?
Step of the wind is the dash disengage one, yeah.
It is, yeah. Okay, so we'll be doing that dash-wise.
And your jump distance is doubled, but I don't think you'll be jumping whilst flying. That's weird.
No, indeed. Although, okay, tell you what. Here's a small shameless plug, which I have is a continuation of one from the Discord, which you, the viewer, should join if you haven't already.
Yes.
There's an expansion that a game studio have created to D&D, which was started on Kickstarter, called Humblewood. It's super great, deeply, deeply adorable. It's like, imagine D&D / The Secret of Nim. So with all the anthropomorphic animals, but also bird people. And they can glide and fly and do all kinds of fun stuff. So this is not unheard of. Anyway, Brucon is going to dash as his bonus action, spending a key point to do so. And hopefully that extra 80-foot burst of movement will get him within 5 feet of one or more of the bird people.
Yes, it does, in fact. That boost of speed.
But both of them?
You can maneuver round to be in with both of them.
Brucon drop rockets, there's like a contrail coming off the back of him, it's through the air.
Imagine Fortnite for some reason, even though you're going horizontally rather than vertically, or
I'm thinking more like a parabola, it's like an intercontinental ballistic Brucon has just been launched.
Brucon's just Iron Manning across to the tune of Back in Black.
Yeah. Exactly, and drops down, or accelerates, and then matches speed with them on the way down between the two of them. And says, "Good evening, gentlemen," and then he's going to make an attack first of all on one of them, and just on the grounds of being more distracted and a more obvious target, he'll start with the one with the crossbow bolt in his hand.
Sure.
He's going to make an attack. Going to make an attack on them, which I have to click back through, even though I pretty much do have his stats memorized, so this is kind of pointless, but never mind. Vamping. Roll. Not a great roll. 14.
14, unfortunately, doesn't hit.
Yeah, I feared as much. Okay, Brucon will follow up with a second attack at the same target.
Level 5, extra attack, yes. Go for it.
Do you know what? I'm going to go for Alpha Strike. He's going to expend his inspiration that he's been sitting on for a little while for the second one.
Ooh.
Innocent lives are at stake here, or at least, probably guilty, but maybe not guilty enough lives are at stake here. There's a lead. I think the really crucial point is there's a lead. Anyway,
we have a lead. We have a leak.
Okay, well, that was a waste of inspiration, but never mind. Insurance is good to be doubly sure. So, does a 26 hit, Jack?
Yes. Oh, yes. 100%. I'm a class of 15 for these guys.
I love that you just give this information away.
Yeah. I thought it'd be nice because
that is nice.
I can't control what you roll, so I'll just tell you at this point once you hit.
Thank you for it. So Brucon is going to follow that with another key point expenditure to make a stunning strike on the target. So we'll roll damage first. So this
roll some
4,
damage.
5 damage.
5 damage. Okay.
But much more importantly, they have to pass a DC 14 Constitution saving throw. And as they are birds, I'm hoping the con stats aren't fantastic.
I rolled an 18 on the dice. Unfortunately, it's fine.
That will happen. Okay, well, Brucon has very much announced his presence, and now we're having a Matrix Revolution style mid-air kung fu fight. Which
now
honestly,
staring down these two bird people.
Honestly, it's all I've ever wanted in life, so I am cool with that. That is Brucon's turn.
There's something about facing off between the two of them in a moment in your mind's eye, Brucon. It reminds you of a seesaw and the balance, in the way you've got one on either side.
Yeah,
also, they're wearing monastic robes. So interesting.
I am the fulcrum.
The first time you're going to fight a monk is in the air, just full on like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon feels. There's things happening. Next up is Leobrin. You're head of the group on the ground.
Mm-hmm. How far away am I?
So the map is deceptive here because you're a bit further than that. So you're about, I would say, roughly 100 feet away.
Map, I don't know the map. Cool. Leobrin is going to start running towards the interesting situation. So, move.
So your move, 30-foot move, puts you exactly like on the map where I've just... Yep, good.
Lovely.
There's a building obscuring your path, your line of sight to them from here. It's a 2-story building.
Okay, can't see him. That makes the next step less fun. Let me just check a thing. Gonna give it a try anyway and see what happens. Okay. Casting tongues.
Oh, okay. This is a leveled spell, isn't it, Leobrin?
Yes.
Could you roll a d20 for me, please?
Okay. 13.
Yep, it's fine. Spell works, no problems at all. So, tongues, go ahead.
Okay.
I
And
remember
then
during your last day of downtime that there was a roll when you were trying to cast. There
that's
are things
all
afoot.
spells now. Okay, interesting. Have I not cast any spells since then?
No, exactly. So that's why you haven't had to roll.
Cool.
Combat in 7 sessions.
Yeah, but I normally don't cast in combat.
He's been using his invocations and things like that.
My spells.
So.
Yeah. And then we'll be like yelling, "Excuse me, you need to stop what you're doing. Those are not your property. We would like to talk."
Okay. And okay. There will be a response to that. I think given the frenetic energy of what's going on here, I'll come back to what they say in response to that. That was your action to do that. Was there a bonus action you wanted to do?
I don't really have bonus actions.
Don't really have them. Okay, no problem. Next up is Seth.
I'm not familiar with these bonus actions of which you speak.
So I'm going to move towards where it was. How tall was the tower I was on?
It's about 30 feet up where you were, so easy enough to drop down. And you did that pre-initiative.
So with 30 feet of movement, can I get within 80-foot range?
No, not from here, because the guys ahead of you were over 100 feet away. Sorry, they were 100 feet away, and they're maybe 60 feet from you. So, yeah, you'll still be out of 80 feet, unfortunately.
Cool. Then I'll bonus action dash, and
yep.
Am I within 80 feet now?
So now that's 60. So now you're exactly 100 feet away, and you're now only 30 feet behind Leobrin.
Okay.
You can, from your position, because it was slightly elevated up in the park, you can get a shot from there, but it's obviously disadvantaged because of the distance.
I thought when I was in the tower, they were only 100 feet away.
They were, and then they swung round to the tavern, so they got further away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Then yeah, I'll take a shot.
Okay, go for it.
17.
17 hits, yeah. Nice one. Roll some damage. And you have Brucon within 5 feet, so you get sneak attack.
I don't. I have disadvantage.
Oh no, you have disadvantage. Sorry. Yeah. Good. Thank you for that. Honestly, love it.
11 damage.
11 damage. Because of their positioning, you hit the unwounded one, who again, Brucon, you see, reaches out to try and catch the missile that's shot at him. How much damage was that? 11?
11.
Okay, he catches. So Brucon, you see this arrow go this bolt and then stop as he catches it mid-air. This bird person is just staring you down whilst holding the bolt. So no damage.
Oh, you know this technique. The bushy finger roll.
But he just drops it to the floor. He doesn't throw it. He's No, he's
Do I
happened.
see this?
Yeah. You'd see it then drop to the floor. Yes, just about.
Good.
Did it hit a shield? Who knows? Next up is Neris, who will just follow you, Leobrin. She's going to dash along with you.
I was bracing myself for the fireball airburst effect there.
Unfortunately, no sight at this point to be able to do that. But next turn may well suddenly start blowing up the sky.
That's never stopped her before.
I
It's
know.
very true. Very
That's
true.
why I was preparing myself
Can
for
I just
it.
can I just burn a hole through the building with that? Is that okay? No, no. I'm just now pretending Marta is here to have that conversation. No, Marta, you can't
Well,
burn
she's-
down the building. It's not okay.
She's never tried with fireball.
It's true.
Try.
It's true, and she won't until she's back. That's it. I don't want to steal her fireball thunder. Next up is Malar. So yep, you're down on the ground. Leobrin and Neris, but they dash, so they're 60 feet away from you at this point.
I will.
No,
do
they
the
didn't dash,
same.
did they? Leobrin didn't
No dash.
Neris will dash. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, 30 feet for Leobrin, 60 feet for Neris.
I'll dash, and in the process of dashing, I will also pull out my continual flame torch to try and at least illuminate the nearest 20 foot.
Yeah, good call. Got it held aloft, running. You and Neris round the corner of the building. You can see now. Neris a lot clearer than you, but it's within your, I think, just about on the edge of your dim light range. Plus, the tavern has sconces outside, so you can see what's going on the bottom here. It looks like there's a halfling, some kind, quite bedraggled, not very well dressed. Now has a net over them. They're stuck inside the net. They're sort of rolling around there, and you can see these two bird people up above you. You hear a bolt clatter to the floor, and you can see Brucon, like a boss, has flown up to them and is like starting a fist fight with these guys midair. It's pretty epic, not gonna lie.
Yeah, but it is a polite. To be clear, it is the crouching tiger, hidden dragon analogy was apt. It's polite and elegant. Not I'm gonna freaking kill you.
It's like watching a dance in the sky. Beautiful.
Now I recently discovered that in the Matrix, Neo's
Brucon Ball Z,
fight.
yes.
Yeah, absolutely. In the Matrix, when Neo has to fight the guy in white who guards the Oracle, that is he is a login screen.
Yeah.
And that is what is going on. That's more or less what's going down with Brucon and the bird monks now.
Bird monks now. Amazing. All right. Next up, it's them. Bottom of the order, because they only got 13 on the initiative despite their monkey tendencies.
Not related to monkeys at all.
Not related to monkeys, no. Although the etymology of monk and the relation to monkeys is an interesting one. So Leobrin, in response to your tongues when you shouted out to these birds, they look to Brucon. You see them look to the source of that noise of him shouting, and look back at you, and they say, they squawk in a language you don't understand unless you can speak Aarakocran. Nope. Didn't think
Very unambiguously, no.
so. With tongues, sorry, Marshall, I can't because I've never used it. I haven't looked it up. With tongues, can you understand what they say back as well?
Yes. Yeah,
No
we
matter what
both speak our
language it
own
is.
languages, and both of us can understand. Basically, anyone can understand what I'm saying as long as they can speak a language,
Perfect.
and
you
I can understand what
that.
anyone else is saying.
Great. Okay. So you do you understand the message back, but they say, "We must do this. We must, or we'll be dead."
That is a thing.
Brucon, the one of them then swoops to attack you with his fist.
Bring it on.
What? Open palm. Rolled a 3 on the dice, so spectacularly gonna fail on that one.
Brucon looks at him like Brucon puts his hands on his hips in midair and is like, "Really, really."
then it seems the momentum of them swinging whilst mid-flight, they then sort of somersault in the air and they throw a punch and a kick at you in a flurry of blows. Ooh. Is that going to hit? It's a good question. Will so that
17 is the magic number here.
okay, only 15. Only 15 on both dice. So yeah, they swing out a kick and finally they pull out a nunchuck and try to hit you with it. And they miss.
Just desperately escalating.
The other one.
Next round he pulls out a shotgun and is like, for God's sake, and just starts going for it. Yeah.
Marshal Leobrin, you hear another bird voice going, "I got him! Get the halfling!" And the other Aarakocra, because they are Aarakocra, just to give that away, obviously, the language. He uses Step of the Wind to disengage from you and swoops down to the floor, grabs onto the net and produces a rope from his person and starts tying it to the net. He's down on the ground currently. That's their turn. So top of the round, it's over to Brucon. Got one with a bolt in his hand, trying to attack you and failing miserably.
Okay, first order of business. Can Brucon do an insight check? Do sort of like game recognized game style monk. Like kind of
as a free action. Do it.
Infer what color of belt this guy wears, or just observe if he happens to.
Insight or religion, either of those applicable here.
Well, insight is definitely the one I would go with, given the choice.
Love your wisdom stuff, yeah.
Okay, not amazing, not great. 3.6, not great, not terrible. Except 3.6 in this case actually is 14.
14. Okay, with a 14, and I think given that you've done the reading as well, from your research before, this is all kinds of red flags right here. Like this seems like the group, the secretive group of bird people that was spoken about in that tome that you still carry. Yeah. This seems the level they're on. Yeah.
Okay, but they also the guy thus far doesn't seem to be like existential threat level of martial skill and power.
No, they don't. These appear to be relative juniors in terms of the monastic order. Yeah.
Okay. Does that 14 also give any information about the Brucon's opponent's level of fortitude, health?
Not particularly on health, but you do sense that there is a stress and a panic about these beings. It doesn't seem that they were equipped for a fight. They seem to be.
They weren't prepared, funnily enough, for a stocky dwarf to just levitate at them out of nowhere and start punching.
I mean, I personally wouldn't leave the house without preparing for that, but they haven't.
That's why you run this campaign. Cool. Okay.
Alright, just change Brucon's name to the Spanish Inquisition.
Nobody suspects. Sorry.
So Brucon's just gonna go. He's gonna kind of judge his technique and go and go. You should try something more like this, and then has a couple of swings at his opponent.
Do it.
Oh wow! I rolled the exact same thing both times, which would be 23.
Okay, 2 hits.
2 hits, so this plus 8. But he is pulling his punches. To be clear, if
you're going to knock him unconscious while he's midair. Yeah.
Aiming to knock him unconscious. Yes. So that will be 16 points of damage.
Oh wow. Oh that's enough to knock him out.
Brilliant.
And with that,
how high up are we at this point, by the way? How high above the ground?
I was wondering when you were going to ask that. You're about 40 feet in the air.
Right. Okay. So
just above the tavern.
So Brucon's going to try and grab this dude on the way down and fly down to the ground. So he doesn't want. He's trying to usher this guy, relatively safely to the ground.
Okay, so obviously you did 2 attacks. so you wouldn't be able to grab onto him like a grapple type thing. Unless I'll say you can use a key point. So, well, hang on, you've got your bonus action, haven't you? So you could let's say one of your you haven't used it. So let's say that your bonus action was an unarmed strike. You've used that, and yeah, you can attempt to grapple him. I'm happy with that.
Splendid. Okay. Now, I've got a thing about grappling, but if I remember, it's specifically for escaping. But let me just double check that.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's squat nimbleness is specifically escaping. So this is just athletics check. Yeah.
Yep. Or yes, athletics for you. Yes. They're in fairness, they're unconscious, but this is more because you're trying to do it swiftly against the elements.
Roll. But 21, I would say, is not a fluffing.
Yeah, 21, you bodily tackle them, essentially, as they start falling, managing to catch them.
Yep.
They're not particularly heavy, but, probably couldn't carry much more than them, quite cumbersome. You stop him, which is good, because he was starting to go down like a fighter plane in a World War II film. And he was looking like, because I rolled the direction, it looked like he was going to miss the top of the tavern and just go careering down, plummeting down all the way to the ground, which would have been a significant amount of damage from this height. So yeah, good call on grabbing him.
That sounds like quite a bit for one turn for Brucon, I would say.
That is a good turn.
Pass on.
Next turn then. Actually, I'll say you've still got a bit of movement when you've grabbed him, so you can finish and get to the floor if that's what you choose to do, or you can stay in the air.
Well, he's definitely going to stay in the air if he's got the unconscious bird person safely down to the ground. He wants to use Brucon's remaining movement is going to be used moving as close as possible to the not unconscious one.
But keeping in the air, or did you want to be in melee?
No, keeping in the air is fine.
Keeping in the air, great, awesome, good turn. Leobrin, over to you.
Stage 1 is Leobrin informs everyone. Apparently they're doing it because if they don't, they'll be killed.
Who can hear you?
Malar and Malar, Neris, Seth. You're not too far away from him.
Yeah, if I was yelling loud enough for the Aarakocra to hear me and respond, I'm assuming everyone else is inaudible.
Yeah. Even Brucon would catch it, or there's a general din where Brucon is, but I'd say you guys can all work out what's going on. Sure.
And then. So Brucon, did you drop the guy off on the floor?
Yes.
Excellent. Leobrin will run over to that person, using as much movement as needed.
You could, if you dash, you'll get to him.
Okay. Dash will get me there, then I don't have enough actions to try and restrain this person, but at least I'm nearby. Cool.
Yeah.
Done.
I don't know if you have a counter option, but if you just use your movement, you can see that the unconscious bird person. If that changes your mind at all.
No, I mean I can turn the I can turn a 100-foot radius area, so 200 feet side to side into difficult terrain, but I feel like that's cool.
Yeah, fair enough. You can dash up to him, sure.
Cool.
Okay, next up is Seth. You can no longer see the targets.
Cool, I'm going to run in the direction they've gone down. With 30 feet, what can I see?
With 30 feet, there's still one large building in the way, but you can see Malar and Neris are pegging it around the corner of the building. That's just your movement, obviously. If you bonus action dash, you'll be up with them.
Yeah, bonus action dash. So I've travelled 120 feet from the original building that I was at.
Yep.
How close am I?
So you're now within 30 feet of the unconscious one. I think it's just over 40 for the conscious one and the guy in the net. You can just see round the corner at this point as well. You can see what's happening.
What does the one with the net look like he's doing?
He looks like he's tying a rope to the net.
Fire a crossbow at him.
All right. Make an attack roll, please. No disadvantage this time. You're well within range.
With sneak attack, does it have to be with a weapon you're proficient in?
So, sorry?
Pretty sure it does.
Does it have to be with a weapon you're proficient in for a sneak attack?
Yes.
Or does it just have to be finesse?
Yeah, finesse or ranged, but because if you're not proficient in the weapon, I think you would have disadvantage using it anyway, right?
You wouldn't have disadvantage. No, you wouldn't.
You
get
just
your
don't add your proficiency bonus.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
But, I'm just gonna double check.
What was the weapon? Sorry.
Sorry, it's because I've got a whip as well, and if they're 40
Ah.
feet away, then I may be able to.
Yeah, if you're not proficient, you don't add your
the attack.
proficiency bonus.
To be fair,
Yeah.
there's nothing in the wording for sneak attack that states the.
It needs to be a finesse weapon.
or a
Finesse
range.
or range.
ranged, yeah.
Yeah,
But it
so
doesn't say anything about
instead,
proficiency.
So what are you
instead
using?
of attacking with the crossbow, I'm gonna run, and I'm gonna dash, and go another 30 feet, so I'm 10 feet away, and I'm gonna pull out my whip.
Okay, so that's your action then to dash as well. So you've bonus action dashed, and moved.
Yep, and I'm gonna yell it. Drop the rope.
Okay, yelling it to drop the rope. Yep. You're so by the end of that dash, you're about 20 feet from it. 15 feet from it.
I thought you said I was 40. I thought you said I was 40 feet away from it.
I said just over 40 feet away from it.
Oh, then scratch
So obviously
all of
30
that.
feet
I'll just
dash,
fire the
so.
crossbow then. Yeah, I'll just fire the crossbow then and scratch all of that. Cool. Yeah, that's 20 something.
Sure, that's a hit. Yeah.
And 11 damage.
11 damage. Again, uses its reaction, catches the missile because I rolled a 10 on the dice. So 17, so it catches the missile. This time, it goes to throw it. And it tosses it back to you. Fortunately, you have half cover due to the you're right on the corner of the building. Plus, it's an arrows, so it's at disadvantage because of the distance. Does a 19 hit.
What does half cover give me?
+2 to your AC.
That is my AC then.
So it just hits you. That's unlucky. So, sorry, but because I don't have it on me, is it a D4 damage with the missile when you throw back as a deflect missiles?
Yeah.
D4 plus your dex. So 6 points of piercing damage. As the bolt flies back into your shoulder.
Cool.
And that's its reaction used. Nice. Okay, that's you. Action, bonus action, movement. Neris, obviously just next to you.
Actually, so Jack, I mean, I'm pretty sure it won't have changed the answer here, but having just gone back and double checked, with deflect missile, it's you would use the martial arts dice. So
yeah, which is a D4 for these guys. Yep. It's a martial arts die. Thank you.
Very confident it would be, but yeah, just bear in mind if some more gangster versions of these dudes show up, then
they've got a higher dice. Yeah.
They could. Yeah.
Great, thank you. Next up is Neris. Now she's obviously seen you get hit there with that bolt that you just fired, and she seems a bit pissed. She's going to move forward slightly so that she's not within 5 feet of anyone, and then she's going to throw a little. She's got firebolt, right?
Yeah,
she's got all the
better
fire.
firebolt now. I think we swapped it over. We should have swapped it over.
Yeah, because there was a bit of
Pretty sure
because it was there was a thing with the whole high elf spell, but yeah, you anyway. So rolled a 4, so that's not going to be enough. So she throws a firebolt anyway, completely misses, hits the next building. Fortunately, it doesn't catch fire, but it does char it a little bit. And then she's like, "God damn it!" Malak, it's your turn.
These guys are within 20 feet of each other, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay, can you have them both make a charisma saving throw DC 15?
Oh, sorry, only one of them is conscious, but yeah, wisdom saving throw, did you say?
Charisma.
Charisma saving throw, right. Ooh. DC was 15, right? They have a minus on their charisma, -1, but I rolled a 16, so that's 15 exactly. Nothing happens, or is it a half thing?
No, nothing happens. That was calm emotion.
Oh, sorry, buddy.
To be fair, one of them on one of them, it works incredibly well.
Incredibly well.
Could not be calmer.
It's calm as the grave.
Oh, not quite as calm as grave.
well, just the bit before the grave.
Wonderful.
This got
The
dark.
burial.
Sorry.
Quiet as the burial.
As quiet as the. Oh dear. Somber. Go ahead, Mala. Sorry, you got anything else you want to do in your turn?
No, I move. How far away is the conscious one from me?
Conscious one, 45 feet, I think.
Yeah, go on. Move me up 30 foot, would you?
30
keep
feet,
me out
because you've got to manoeuvre
right.
around your comrades, gets you to there, so you're about 15 feet away from them.
Cool, thank you. Turn.
20 feet away. Yep, that's you. Great. Okay, finally, yeah, it's his turn. The one remaining Aarakocra, seeing the dream team bearing down on him, looks around, and you, Leobrin, you obviously got tongues up, so you would hear him go.
Yes.
He goes, "Ow, fuck!" And then drops the rope to the guy. He goes, Please understand me." And he's holding his hands up in the air. He goes prone. He goes not prone, but he just goes on his knees. He surrenders to you.
Just so everyone's aware, that is the universal sign for surrender, and he is indeed surrendering.
All right. Happy days.
Huzzah.
And with that, folks, you thwart this abduction attempt. As you get now that you guys are pretty close, especially Leobrin, Malar, and Brucon hovering above, you guys can see that the creature, the halfling, as they said, that was caught up in the net, is somebody you recognise. It's you recognise the top hat that has fallen to the floor. The bedraggled appearance, and also the nervous tick and jammerings. This appears to be Royston the Bag, who you liberated from Korak, from the Red Mages, only a few days ago.
Man, this guy is shit at not cool. How
Sorry, what
is
was
he
that?
most wanted? I said, man, he's shit at not being cool. How is he most wanted?
I mean, to be fair, isn't this? I might be getting my wires crossed, but isn't this the guy who mostly stacks the deck a bit by stealing from dead people?
Yeah,
That's the one.
Yeah.
So I feel
and
like
he's
that,
insane.
I feel like that's kind of the answer there. Is it sort of it deliberately sets up extremely one-sided scenarios.
Yeah, and remember how wasn't it like him and Seth all in the same?
Yes, they were in the same
situation?
prison wagon at the very start of the campaign. Yeah, they were caught in a similar area. Not robbing graves. One of them was, but it's similar geographical
So
location.
this is the third time he's been caught.
Yes.
So he's only 2 ahead of you, as far as we're aware. It's like initiative with Malar. Oh no, that was only 1.
Cool. So thingy's over. Is it still talking? Talkative one?
So it's gone silent as it's holding up its hands, sort of waiting.
Can anyone understand it?
Yes,
Or do I shoot
Leo has said that it's giving up. That's saying it's giving up, and the Aarakocra should understand Leo.
Yeah, that's right. He does. And he's like looking from you to the rest of them, back to you, and looks a bit perplexed that you can understand him and he can understand you.
Would you care to explain yourself?
Please. We, the Manticores, they have taken the Eyrie. They have taken our masters. They have made us. They told us to find the small beings. They said they have something important.
Well, everybody, it's rather a messy situation. Apparently, the Aarakocra are being enslaved by the Manticores to collect small people for some mystery plan.
What do they do with the small people? Are they still alive?
Aarakocra person?
How do you know we
sorry,
are?
what is your name?
Do you know we are Aarakocra? We are not well known here, but you can speak our language. This is strange. My name is.
Okay, I'm going to use that last bit.
I'm out.
Seth's like, I will allow you to live so long as you do not cause me any inconvenience, such as, for example, having a difficult name.
You can live if your name is a syllable.
Now, here's a question. How come that didn't translate?
Because Aarakocra names are just made up of cores and sounds. So
I mean, so are human names, but they mean things.
not always. You can
Don't
infer
translate
meaning
well.
onto them.
I mean, like, Peter means stone. Right, that was a name.
Okay. As you're speaking tongues and so on, let's say that he would then say, "But you can call me Kerr."
We missed
It
that.
cut out when you
Can't
said the
hear.
name.
Oh, you can
The
call me
accent doesn't go too
Kerr.
well over.
Kerr.
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 Excellent. That is a
Similar to
good
the
name,
last syllable.
Kerr. Dan.
Filthy
smiling. DK grinning like a fool.
That'll be K-E-R rather than C-U-R. Just to
Yeah,
clarify.
K-E-R is the name of DK's other character.
Oh, brilliant. What character? What kind of character is that? Out of interest.
Death
Aarakocra monk.
Domain Cleric Warful.
Oh, Warforged. Interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's also a name I was nearly called. Yeah. Side story for off the channel.
This is why we should keep this Aarakocra alive.
Yes, that is very interesting. The small people, some of which are in fact children, the small people and children that you've kidnapped, are they still alive at this point?
I don't know. I am told to retrieve people. I don't know what they do with them.
You can't hear me.
We missed the first bit of your mouth moving, but I think we got the important bit.
Yeah. Said he doesn't know what they do with them. I'm going to switch my mic thing on Discord and see if we're still getting crackle or whatever.
I think, and I want you to know, it gives me great pain to say this. I think we might have to ease off on the voices. I'm not convinced Discord is set to.
It's going to handle these shrill tones.
Yeah, that's the tone we can't quite hear.
Yep, not a problem. Dialing it back. I've switched feed. Anyway. Yeah. So. Yeah. So he says that he doesn't know what they do with the small people. Is crackling again?
I mean, it is, but we can hear all of your words, so that's better,
Okay.
I guess.
Doesn't know what they do with
volume
them, whether they're alive or not. But he's just an errand boy. He's just sent to retrieve people.
I think if you're sent to retrieve people and you don't know if they die, I don't think that quite alleviates.
You
the
can't
guilt.
hear this. Go away, Seth.
True, Seth wouldn't
translated.
understand this conversation. Seth would only understand what Lobrin tells him.
Tell us.
Sorry, but the manticores are at your eyrie. You are also at your eyrie. You don't know where the people go?
No. The masters have been taken. We are threatened. We are told to bring the small ones, or they will kill us too.
So
Okay.
just to check, the effect of tongues is that anyone can understand Leoberin. Yes, it's not.
Yes.
He's not kind of.
Yeah,
like
you can hear my
non-biased.
side of the conversation.
Cool.
I'm
okay.
still speaking.
Yeah, no,
I
I get you. So Brucan cuts in at this point and he goes, "Sorry, can I just check? When we say the Manticores, is this like a super scary name that someone's taken on, or are these? Is this an actual clan of near mythical beasts that have just?
That is a
And how many?
good question. Dear Kerr, when you say manticores, is that a title, or in fact the
Mythical beings.
the things with all the fangs and the wings?
The lion's head. The scorpion's tail.
That's a yes on the mythical monsters.
The reptilian
Everybody?
wings.
1, 2,
I have seen at least 5.
5.
Oh snap! That's a lot
Well,
of
like-
mythical that's a lot of mythical monsters. Although
I
presumably
do not know who they serve, but
Get
they
one
are
each,
many.
and there's one left over. Wait, sorry. You think they serve someone else?
We have not seen manticores in this area since we have been on this plane. For hundreds of
plot-
years.
This plot is thickening.
He's been sent to take these little people. When are they expecting him back?
At this point, the guards, some of the militia show up.
Yeah.
Start
Goodbye,
surrounding.
sirs. Question. The manticores will kill you if you don't bring back small people.
Yes.
Is that the situation?
Yes.
Why do you bother going back there?
Many have tried to flee. Many have, but they are hunted down by the manticores.
Okay, there's a nice town here, full of guards. No, okay. Very
This
well.
is not our way. It is our home. The Eyrie is our home. We do not belong out here.
And at this point, the guards start sort of clustering around the Aarakocra and you. One of them steps forward. You recognise with the smouldering breastplate armor of the purple tiefling of Asim Devilblights, the second in command of the guard.
What is going on here? Who is this? What is this creature you have here?
This is an Aarakocra.
There's a what now? What is this?
They're bird people. I mean, I'm assuming you could tell that by looking at them.
Yes, what
Just,
is it doing here is more my question. And why does this fellow have a net across him?
Pattern recognition, not a prerequisite for application to the guards. Then
Is this who has been behind the abductions recently?
This is an involuntary agent of the beings behind the kidnappings. The beings behind the kidnappings are, in fact, do you know the word manticore?
In stories, yes. We have never seen one here.
Well, our fellow here has seen 5 at least.
So he says, a tall tale indeed.
it makes a good point. It makes a good point actually. How do we know how good are bird people normally at lying? Do we think? Do we know?
Can
Let's
we
take
roll an
him
insight
to-
on the bird peoples?
Yeah, I guess given the language barrier, it seems appropriately Oberyn makes the insight check. The rest of you, it's going to be
Yeah, it
harder
seems
to tell.
implausible that anyone else would be able to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this is
That
sadly
squawk
not...
sounded hesitant.
I've
I hear
retired
doubt in
my
his voice.
horrendous insight character. This is just a normal roll.
Oh yeah. Oh.
11.
Okay.
Was very almost a 23.
I mean, given this is your first meeting of anyone of this particular species, it's quite hard to read their facial expressions. That their facial expressions are not like regular most humanoid races, like elves and humans, dwarves, that sort of thing. They don't have the eyebrows. Their faces composition is very different with the beak. It's hard to read them at this point.
I mean, he seems generally scared of us, which would be a bizarre attitude to take if you are happily a villain.
When
Yes,
when
that's
do
true.
they
And
expect
I know
him
they
back?
should be scared of us because that was not the most difficult fight we've ever had. Even if you take out the incident which shall never be named.
Also, they were saying that before we beat them.
Also true.
When is he expected back?
I mean, I assume
Like, if he's-
also true. That's what you said they were saying. I had no idea. I just remembered.
Have you translated that they were being hunted
Hunted?
if they tried to escape?
Yes.
Did you
yes,
tell us
they-
that? So
I didn't, but no.
when is it expecting them back? Because if they, like, when is it going to come? If he's here too long, is the manticore going to come?
If we keep the Aarakocra, they probably would. Dear Kerr, when your friends were hunted down and killed for fleeing the manticores, did they send like all of the manticores or just one?
It depends. When they first arrived, many tried to escape. They sent many a manticore after them. Since then, single individuals have tried to flee, and single manticores are sent to retrieve them. They never return with them alive.
Well, I mean, if we want to take out the manticores one by one, we've got bait for a manticore.
But would that mean a manticore is coming to a town full of people?
I do not condone a manticore endangering the lives of Hilberg. I was going to say I was going to take these into our custody, but Mr. Leobrin, I recognize that you are clearly can talk to these creatures, and you are a man of good standing in this town. I trust your judgment, but please, if you are going to be baiting any mythical creatures, you will not do it within these walls.
We've got chickens in town. We cover someone with feathers, and we all lie in wait and wait for the manticores to fly over. This trap worked mere minutes ago. We can do exactly the same with a manticore.
So the Aarakocra obviously can understand you and just looks, tilts his head to one side, cocks his head to one side.
What? Chickens? Why? We're not chickens. That's offensive.
Well, unless you want to be the bait personally.
No.
When will the manticore start coming for him if he doesn't bring someone back?
Oh, obviously he can't understand Seth, but
Yeah, I'll pass that question on.
We are due back within a day. If we do not arrive back, the manticore will come.
How far away is his area?
It is as we fly. Only it is about I don't understand the measurements that you use, but it is most of the day to get here.
So, tomorrow.
I am due back by tomorrow. If I am not back, the manticore will fly out after that. It would be here in 2 to 3 days.
That is a long trek.
Yes.
Mr.
We don't
Yogi,
normally
could
disturb
you-
the civilization here. We were happy in our eyrie
You've
before the
kidnapped people,
manticores
like,
came.
4 or 5 people over the last couple of days.
Yeah, but he's saying that he's done that because the manticores forced them to.
exactly.
Yes, no, I'm more thinking if they've been going back and forth every day.
Oh, I see. Yeah, okay.
they have. Yes, they have.
So the manticore taking like 3 days to get here seems.
When they
Well, it's a day
take
for
someone-
him to get back, then a day for the manticore to come. So yeah, 2 days.
When
No,
they
I
take
get
someone,
it, but anyway, we can untangle this later. It's not a big deal now.
Yeah.
does someone check? Does a manticore stay in check if they brought a small person?
Is there one
Like, if you
manticore there
brought-
with a clipboard signing people in and out as they
Yeah.
go on their missions?
If he brought someone that wasn't a small person, who would know?
We take the small people to they have cells, makeshift cells. We put them in there. The manticores then take them.
So no one checks.
The manticores will
but-
check, yes, but
But that would
one
be
of them
after you
keeps a
put them
close
in the
eye
cell.
over us. I have not seen somebody bring back a larger creature before, but it is hard to carry a small one anyway. That's why we need 2 of us.
But if you carried someone larger back, would they know, or would we be able to sneak into
Brucon's
the
head
area.
slowly turns in the direction of Seth.
The manticores may kill us for that. They told us expressly to do that or they would kill us.
I'm just thinking maybe rather than waiting for the manticore to come here, we go there and kill it. They don't sound like they've got the tightest security. They let these guys just leave, go to town. They don't check when they come back. They check the cells after they've been filled.
But how are we all going to get there?
We walk there, and then they take us up one by one.
Right, but it's going to take if they can fly, there's no way we can go faster than flying creatures as a group as a whole.
Yeah.
If the guards, we tell the guards to stay here on alert for a manticore just in case we miss it. But rather than staying here for manticore, we're heading in a straight line there, even by horse. We take out the manticore midway.
But how? We can't fly.
We'll shoot him down.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if it's up there and we're shooting arrows at it from the ground, it's gonna be pissed.
I could set it on fire.
Yeah, that certainly seems reasonable.
Leobrin has a mask that can transform his appearance and a cape that can transform appearance. I'm sure
Yes.
I can mock up a reasonable Aarakocra.
Well, and then we launch you into the sky.
Well, if I'm just running, if we see the manticores, I'll run around flapping my wing cape, going, I'm grounded.
I'm not super clear on why we would leave a place that we're confident manticores would come to in order to go to a place that where we're not that.
Don't we also have to save all the people?
We do, so that's an excellent point also. But
if we have to wait one by one for a manticore, then it will be a few weeks for a manticore to come one by one.
When the manticore comes here,
one is returning.
Okay, so when the manticore comes here, what do we do then? I think we've lost James. Oh no, there you go.
No, we kill him halfway.
Yeah, but that's one manticore.
Then we keep going.
Yeah.
We get there. They won't be expecting that manticore back for a few days. We infiltrate in, kill them either one by one or rally the Aarakocras to... Did I say that right? Aarakocra? Aarakocras together to either fight back, flee, or...
Yeah,
and then we take out the manticores.
Yeah.
I'm convinced you've won me over. I'm on board.
I agree with you, best friend. Fleeting rounds the corner.
We're
with a
level
bell
5.
in
We
tow.
can kill anything.
Have we tried? We
Roll
could
it,
try
logic.
riding the manticores.
Ooh, we could.
That would be quick.
I am up for that plan on the way back after we've tamed them.
Those evil sentient creatures.
Yeah, quite. Yeah.
After we've bribed them with reasonable things.
Like small people.
Yeah, after we bribe them with something they like, we will shortly be figuring out what the thing that everyone thinks doesn't exist likes.
Are the guards still here?
Yep, they're still here. They obviously want to.
I'm trying to
keep
imagine what kind
control
of
the
person
situation.
would voluntarily walk away from a conversation like the one we're currently having.
Yeah. I mean, Asim Devilblight is listening intently to your conversation, and you can see, you can see, Seth, that he's, fleeting look, because he's got a low perception. He can still see that behind the more serious expression, there's a fire in his eyes. It's you sense a thirst for adventure from him also. He's kind of jealous of you guys, actually, because you don't have the same duties as he does.
Hell of an inside joke.
Yeah, it's written all over his face. He envies you guys.
Natural 20. I see his childhood dream being an adventurer.
He through his speech, he also further gives this away.
Brucon produces the book that he liberated from the civic library, the town hall.
Yeah.
And flips through to the section that contains information about the location of the Eyrie, and then explains to Leoberin that he has this. It's a astonishing coincidence. I was doing some research about bird people, and I seem to have come up with some vague information about the location of this eyrie, but it's a bit abstract. The kind of the map making work on display, a bit substandard. Do you think you could show this to our friend, our erstwhile friend Kerr here, and see if he can give us any more specific information about where the area is to be found? Maybe you could indicate on the sort of proto map, or give us
Show us on the map where the manticores hurt you.
Yes.
Oh no.
I demand that is how you phrase the request.
Oh yeah, definitely. Excuse me, Kerr, if you could. We have a map which I believe has the eyrie on. If you could just show us on there where the manticores that hurt you are.
Oh, and also where the eyrie is.
Yes.
Looks at the map, and there is one. There's one particular mountain in the Ratgurit Mountains which he points out.
There. That's where the eyrie is. That is where the manticores are. If you plan to go there, we can guide you. Just make sure we're not killed by those things. And we should warn you, the monastery, it's guarded by it's guarded not only by the manticores but by our devout other Aarakocras. We have our more trained members, the Sky Dancers and the Windwalkers. And, of course, the Master, wherever he may be.
And would they fight us if we were trying to stop the manticore? And wait, if you have that many people, how come you can't stop the manticores?
The manticores slayed many when they had turned up. Those who did not submit died. We tried to fight them, but it was in vain. They were too many. There was a magic they possessed. They abducted the Master, and once he left, all fight left us.
The manticores had a dark magic, you say? Okay.
It is not a magic we have seen before. We only know the ways of the elements, not of this arcane. Or otherwise.
Ah, well, okay. Dark magic, many manticores. Sounds like a job for us. Would you rather stay here in this town for now, or join us on our return trip?
No, we cannot stay. We must go back. We must go back to our home.
No, he's coming with us.
Or else we bring danger back to you. To this place.
If you come with us, then we'll bring the danger to us, and then we'll fight the manticore. But
okay.
If you go back without any small people, you'll get in. You'll be hurt and or killed, and we can't let you leave with any small people.
Brucon has a sudden brainwave, by the way, and goes, "Wait! The deceiver, the carpet, the flying carpet Fort. What's Bart cannot remember the name of the fort, but Brucon I'm sure would. But that,
yeah.
Maybe we could retrieve the carpet and I don't know, hotwire it.
Isn't that like a day away to get there?
For normal people, sure. I can still fly. I mean, not for too much longer, but I can currently still fly.
Yeah, how far is it?
It lasts an hour.
I mean, you definitely, with an hour, you even flying. Well, I mean, I suppose you've got the boots, haven't you? But then they only last for 10 minutes. So you definitely couldn't make it all the way there flying, but
No, okay, fair enough.
we'd close the gap, sure. Could also be, well, I suppose you don't. given where
Is
you've
it
been pointed out,
is it a day? Because
what you've been
Leo
pointed out on
take
the
a day
map.
to-
What's
Leo
been
didn't take a
pointed
day
out
to
on the
follow it.
no, it's true. It's true. When
But then we all
it took
teamed
you
up at
longer
the
to
pub
get to it
and then
because you
journeyed through the woods.
It was more that a case of it. Yeah, you were going through some difficult terrain, but equally because you were trying to find your way there the first time, it would have taken longer. Obviously, coming back to town didn't take as long. Once you knew where it was then easier to get to. It's a few hours away, sure, on foot, but yeah, you're gonna have to cut through all that stuff now. But happily, it is in roughly the same direction as you would be heading towards the mountain that was pointed out anyway. Like as the crow flies, it's in roughly that sort of direction anyway. So you could make a detour, perhaps.
So it would be more like a small detour than a pre-prep
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Well, except but then we wouldn't be able to have someone inspect it and rework it, because right now we know it's
you
got a
haven't really
very
got the time. Yeah.
Okay. I think that probably is a dead end.
Definitely worth pursuing at some point.
Crockers. Let's take them to the meeting with the Moonrunners and go from there.
We must hurry, please.
If in doubt, do what you were already planning on doing.
Do we need
Mr.
to tie them
Seth,
up?
you really sure it's a good... I mean, I sense that my attendance at the moon will not be necessary. Why don't I stay here with the new bird friends, and the rest of you go and liaise in fact, these Moonrunners may be able to help us if they know a path up into the rat current.
Yeah, that's a very good thought.
That's a good thought.
That's a very good thought. Smugglers, they might know hidden ways.
Cool. So we've been talking about this plan pretty openly for about 10 minutes.
Yep.
I'm now finally going to take the net off that one guy who's been lying on the ground this whole time.
Yep. Royston looks at you and goes, "Or take my fingers. If you take my fingers, can I go? Please."
You
Crazy
lied
look in
to
his
us.
eyes.
You
What?
said you didn't tell anyone.
Huh? I didn't tell anyone.
The day after we freed you, the place where the finger was blew up. You lied to us.
That was nothing to do with me. I didn't. I don't know what. Please punish me if you must. Take my fingers, please.
Who did you tell?
He's sobbing for momentarily. Snaps out of it. Turns back at you. I don't know. I don't know if I told. I don't know. I don't know what happened. They just kept asking about the fingers. I offered them the fingers. They wouldn't take them.
You're so broken. I'm gonna take the net off him.
Seth, would you like us to incarcerate this individual? He's clearly mad.
He is wanted, so go help yourselves.
He is wanted?
Great,
Not
brother.
by us, obviously.
Oh, no, I've read about this. Yes, I saw we have a poster. This is the grave robber, Royston the Bag. He is awaiting trial down in Elurbarak. In Elurbarak, yes. Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, you have apprehended the criminal. Congratulations. I will take him off your hands.
Oh.
To be
Is
fair,
there a
it
reward?
was the bird people that apprehended him. We just showed up. If anything,
But is there a reward?
I will have to check, Seth. I do not remember.
We'll come by.
If there is, I will
Chancellor-
seek you out, of course.
We'll come by Chancellor Potter's office to claim if there's any rewards.
Of course, I will make sure she is informed if there is such a reward.
Cool. What time is it?
So at this point, it's it is dark now. It's maybe 9 o'clock.
Okay, so we've got a little while yet.
Fleeting look kind of comes up to Leo Bryn, one side. Leo,
Yes?
could you ask this gentleman what a collective term for the Aarakocra would be?
Oh, of course, Fleeting. 1 moment. Excuse me, sir. Do you know the collective term for your people? What do you call a group of Aarakocra?
We call ourselves, we are the Eerie, but we are also known as a cloister.
A cloister, Fleeting.
Huh. Excellent.
I think it's a monk thing.
I see.
Brucon shakes his head.
Okay. Then just Fleeting stares blankly at Brucon. Yeah. So what's your plan, guys? Who's gonna go to the meeting? I gather Malar's not. He's gonna stay with these two. So who else is gonna go with Seth? And Belle, of course. Belle turns up as well. She's with Fleeting.
Oh, I take my acid and knife back. I ask for them back.
Thank you very much, Seth. It was not necessary, but I appreciate it nonetheless.
You're very welcome. And I'm just going to put my acid back in my secret compartments.
Excellent. Nice. He's gotta love his secret compartments. All
In
right.
my belt.
Yeah, in your fancy assassin's belt. It's cool. Okay, so who's going with Seth? Brucon? Yep. Leobryn, what are you doing?
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Really? Let's see who.
Fleeting will definitely go with Seth.
I'll go with Malar. I'll give Malar some support then.
Sure, okay. So in which case, Malar, were you going to stay in the streets or were you planning to take them somewhere?
I was probably going to take them off the street. Yeah, I'll take them back to the townhouse.
Back to your house. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sort of set them up there in the kitchen for a bit. I guess offer them some water. There is a line of questioning I would like to undertake, which is super beneficial since Leo is also with me, but we can do that after the moonrise if you want.
Sure. Yeah, sounds good. So Neris goes with you two. Starts with you anyway, and you can see that she's flagging a bit. She's seems to be lost in her thoughts. It's like more quiet than usual, but less of the smolder. As you approach the townhouse, she turns to you. Malar, presumably you're carrying the unconscious one, because you're the stockiest by far. She sort of goes up to you, looks you squarely in the eyes, and says, "I'm anyone keeping an eye on those two captives we got? At the temple, the werewolf ones."
Oh, well, I've been with the assumption that Vendrix has been keeping them under close eye. I myself have spoken to them on a couple of occasions, but they do not. They are here of their own volition. They are aware of their infliction and intend to not endanger anybody as best they can.
Ventrix,
However, if you wish to go
do you really
and,
trust that guy?
Oh, well, yes, he is one of the 8. He is part of my brotherhood, as it were. Trust is mutually assured to all those who are an honest and open member of...
She sighs, and you can tell she's still bothered. She has something more to say. She's just trying to summon up the will to do it.
Ms. Neris, so what is the concern you have here?
You don't think the Red Mages are involved in this? With these manticores? Leo said they were looking for something. On small people, is that not at all ringing any bells for you?
Oh, well, I assumed that they were talking about Mr. Jackman and the dragon bone dagger he has in his possession. Rest assured, he has gone to ground, and I fully intend to explore the potentiality of further daggers. But Ms. Neris, I'm sure this is all disconnected. This is just mere coincidence. The gods work in mysterious ways. But I, of course, am willing to hear any concerns you have.
Well, if that's true, then okay. I just think I think my uncle needs me for a little while. But if you guys need me, if the Red Mages are involved in any way, if Damon is there, and you can see like the flames appearing in her eyes, you tell me straight away, and I will be there.
Oh, Ms. Neris, you have my word that, yes, I will be in contact if we run into Damon again. I will keep you apprised as best I can of the situation, but if your place is with your uncle, then I advocate that you go spend some time with him.
Thank you, Malar. Just look after everyone, okay?
Ms. Neris, you look after yourself as well. I do my best.
And she gives you a little hug. And then turns to Leo. And wordlessly, she grabs the ruff and casts mending on it. Just adjust it, just as she normally does. I'll see you soon. Yeah, just don't go and die, and watch out for ceilings, Leo.
I have eyes in the top of my head now.
Okay.
Probably Seth does.
And she gets a little laugh, but you see there's a couple of her eyes are kind of welling up a little bit. This is not an emotion that Neris is used to, but she feels kind of a bit overwhelmed in the situation. Seems like a sad goodbye, but a temporary one. And she starts heading away from the house back down through town towards her uncle's workshop. So it's just the two of you taking the Aarakocra into the house, while Seth, Brucon, and Fleeting are making their way towards the meeting at the mill with Bell. You guys, Bell leads you directly there. Fortunately, I think you all have dark vision anyway, so you don't need to light any torches to get there. Taken across the mill, she knocks on the door opens, and you can see, as it opens, several figures inside. A motley crew, various folk inside, a couple of which you recognise from around the town. And at this point, we're going to leave the stream for today. We're going to leave the session there, and we'll have that meeting next time, folks. Yeah, lots of good stuff today, guys. Thank you so much. And obviously, expedient thwarting of the Aarakocra there. Nice job, everyone. So that's it for this week's
stream. Who can fly extremely OP.
That was insane. I mean, the Aarakocra seems like a perfect monk race on when you look at them as a PC class. Like for that, like flying monks, that's just insane. But yeah, you managed to get a hold of two of them and did it pretty easily, Brucon. Brucon's definitely, I would say, somewhat an MVP in that one. Yeah. Good job. And then obviously Leobrin stopping the fight was pretty epic with tongues.
that was cool. That was a very the second attack, the attack roll the second time around was very nice indeed. Very happy with that.
And obviously only enabled by Seth's potion. Exactly. All credit to Seth for giving him the potion.
So expensive.
Yeah.
They're so expensive.
Worth it though. That could have gone horribly wrong if you didn't have that. Like, so fair enough. Because the amount of times they caught your bolts as well. Every time you shot at them, they were catching the arrows. So they were
Yeah,
Deflect
that was
missiles
annoying.
is really, really good. It's such a great ability.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, thank
Yeah.
you so much for tonight. We'll be back next
thank you.
week with the next session. There's no campaign diary this week because we had one last week. Hopefully there will be the week after though to catch up on the next 2 sessions. But yes, so next stream will be here Monday, usual time, 6 p.m. here on the channel. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Sorry I'm invisible today. We'll get that fixed for next time. But you've got to see these lovely chaps instead, so that, that's something. Anyway, thank you all, guys. We'll see you next week. Until then, take care, everyone, and stay safe.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.